Some persons mistake GPA to CGPA, and the essence of this video is to let you know the clear difference between GPA and the CGPA. That is a grade point average and a cumulative grade point average. But before we do that, I would like to let you know some of the important terms whenever you want to calculate your GPA or your CGPA. Before you can calculate your GPA, that is grade point average, or your cumulative grade point average, these are the things that you should bear in mind. They include the total load unit. The total load unit is the total number of load units carried by a student in a particular semester. For example, let's use the result I displayed earlier to know what total load unit is. In this result, I have a course unit. So this is a typical example of how result looks like. So I have a course unit, and the first course, which is Chem 101, is 3. Phys 101 is 3. Then GS 101 is 2. MTH 101 3. MTH 103 is 2, and the CS 101 is 1. The total load unit carried by this particular student in this semester will be, let's calculate that with our calculator. We have the first course unit to be 3. We have second one 3 also. We have third one 2. We have fourth one 3. We have fifth one 2, and we have the sixth one to be 1. This total course unit, which is 14, is actually your total load unit. I believe with this we have done justice to what total load unit is. What about cumulative load unit? This cumulative load unit is a summation of total load units over all the semesters from the beginning to the date. Also, using the same result as a guide, assuming this is the first semester result for a particular candidate, this particular result only cannot give you cumulative load unit, because cumulative load unit, as the definition implies, is the summation of the load unit from the beginning to date. For example, if this particular candidate is in 200 level, the cumulative load unit is the summation of this course unit that we have done earlier, where we got 14, plus that for the second semester, the same 100 level, and also possibly for the first semester 200 level, or to the person's current level. If you add the course units, that will give you the cumulative load unit. For example, let's assume that in the person's second semester 100 level, the total load unit, which is the summation of this course unit, is 16. That will be 14 plus 16. That will give you 30. So it means that the person's cumulative load unit is 30. So you calculate this till the person's final year. In the person's final year, the cumulative load unit will be from 100 level to that final year, which may either be 400 or 500 level. Then what about the total credit points? The total credit points are some of the product of course units and rating in each course for the entire semester. So the total credit point for this particular result will be this course unit multiplied by the grade rating. And this grade rating for A is 5, B is 4, C is 3, D is 2, E is 1, and F is 0. This is applicable in most of the tertiary institutions. So for the total credit point for this particular result, we can calculate that as follows. For the first course, let's use brackets. We have 3. They are multiplied by the person scored B in this particular course, and B, from what I displayed earlier, is 4. So that is 3 multiplied by 4. Close the bracket. Then plus the second course is 3 units. That is 3 multiplied by the person has A, and A is 5. You close bracket. Then plus you have the third one is 2, and the person has D, and D, from what I displayed earlier, D is 2. That will be 2 multiplied by 2. Close the bracket. Then plus we have another one which is 3 units, and in that 3 units the person scored C, and C is 3. So that will be 3 multiplied by 3. We have plus. Then we have the next one which is 2 units, and in the 2 units the person scored A. A is 5. That is 2 multiplied by 5. Close the bracket. Then plus the last one, you have 1, and the person has grade A, and grade A is 5. That is 1 multiplied by 5. Everything equal to, we have 55. So the person's total credit point for this particular semester is 55. So don't forget, in our total credit point we have 55, but in our total load unit we have 14. Now let's go ahead. So What about the cumulative grade point? Cumulative grade point, they say, is a summation of total credit points over all semesters from beginning to date. From what I explained in total load unit, it's same thing as cumulative grade point. If the same candidate has results for 100 level first semester, 100 level second semester, and probably first semester 200 level, up to the person's present level, you now do this same calculation that we have done for all the semesters. For this semester we got 55. You do the same for another semester to the person's present level. When you add them together, what you have, it will be cumulative point average. So the cumulative point average is the summation of this total credit points from the beginning to the present level of the same candidate. Again, we have a grade point average, and grade point average is a total credit point divided by total load unit. So for this particular result, if we want to get the GPA, that is the grade point average for the candidate or student, it means that we are going to use the value that we have established earlier. In the calculation, we got that the total credit point for this particular student is 55, and we got that the total load unit is 14. So the person's GPA, which is the grade point average, will be that same 55 divided by 14. That will give you 3.92857, so on and so forth. But CGPA or GPA, that is grade point average or cumulative grade point average, is always in 2 decimal places. So this one will give you 3.93. Then we have a cumulative grade point average. This cumulative grade point average is nothing but the cumulative grade point divided by cumulative load unit. From what I have been explaining, we know what cumulative credit point is, and we also know what cumulative load unit is. So when you calculate the two, you use CLU to divide CCP. That will give you the cumulative grade point average. That is to say, for this student that has only one semester result, the person doesn't have CGP yet. Rather, what the person has is GPA, grade point average.